I'm Alex. I'm here, waiting, hoping some of the brothers come along. But if they don't, we're still gonna have a heck of a time. What's going on, guys? So let's just talk about it. Today, it is getting filmed on April Fool's Day, April 1st, and man, we are having a decent time in professional wrestling right now. I would have to say, with what's going on with John Cena and Cody. It finally picked up. It was dead to me. I know a lot of people said it was they were eating. They felt like it was everything, but to me it was kind of dead. Um, Cody did not have any kind of emotion towards getting beat up by three people, like humiliated. Cheap shotted by John Cena, and they didn't get physical at all. I felt if they were going to have non-physical segments, they should have had non-physical segments that had them have security guards keeping them apart, however. But it didn't happen that way. But at least this time they finally got physical, and they got physical over John Cena not being able to wrestle. I thought that was funny. The "you can't wrestle" chance of John Cena. That was, eh, you know, feel like it's a mute point for them to wrestle over. But it is what it is. To actually get physical for, to get hit with a crossroads. But it was good to see that there was some kind of physical activity, um, where John Cena took the ball and wanted to get with Cody. But I felt like Cody should have wanted to get with Cena more than Cena wanted to get with Cody. But didn't work out that way. Um, but to get off of the subject of them for a second, I want to talk about what happened with the Swerve Strickland, Booker T, and AJ Francis Top Dollar. I feel like we just having. I really feel like it's a Swerve versus any black man within wrestling that has a name. Um, I really wanted. I think we all need to learn how to get along. Number one, I don't think AJ caring about other people, like him caring about BFAB, getting fired. There's nothing wrong with that. Granted, I understand. Yes, it's a business. You don't meddle in anyone's business, but if this is people that you care about, you care. If you're invested in someone that's your friend, like you legitimately call them a friend, which I feel like he was legitimately feeling that him, B-Fab, Ashanti the Adonis, and Swerve were friends. Swerve obviously looked at it strictly as it's a job, it's my business. So I don't think they approach the business the same. Now, when it comes to the part of where we talk about him, Swerve and Booker T, I feel like Booker T is the pinnacle of um, an African American within the wrestling business. Could be wrong. Like he's not my top guy. My top guy is The Rock, but most people don't even view The Rock like some people just view him as racially just he doesn't have a race, like he's an androgynous race or whatever. But Booker T is definitely known as like he's a black wrestler, and he's what, BET, I think it was BET, that said that hey, he's the black wrestler, the black wrestler. That's a thing. Number one black wrestler is Booker T. That's a heck of a thing to say about someone that they're the number one black wrestler is Booker T. Like I didn't know. Like I wouldn't put him as my number one. I do put The Rock over Booker T in that situation, but I know to some people he's number one. And if this guy's number one and you're saying that you know, you bring up the Vince thing, which Swerve did. I think that was very bold of him, and maybe shouldn't have been brought up at all. Um, I don't get it. It's not something that I would have brought up. And a Vlad TV interview, add that, not even a wrestling interview. Not on Chris Van Vliet, who I love Chris Van Vliet, but I truly feel that he's not a controversial interview type of person. He doesn't want to ruffle anyone's feathers, and he truly loves the business. Uh, I feel like Vlad is just controversial anyway as a person. um, no matter what kind of interview he does, wrestling, hip hop, doesn't matter what that is. Uh, just to get that out the way. Also, I want to hit, uh, man, CM Punk. CM Punk finally getting his WrestleMania main event, WrestleMania Saturday. Punk Rollins, Roman Reigns. Man, that's going to be a heck of a match just to put on. I think. I know a lot of people are like, well, it's not for a title. You know, um, night one last year wasn't really for a title. It was stipulations for a title match, and you know what we're gonna do. We can't have Roman not being the main eventer. You know, like that doesn't make sense. Roman not being a main eventer. He's Roman Reigns. You know, I figured he's gonna. You know, I start the show at the end of the show. He's WrestleMania. He's not gonna. He's not gonna end. He's not gonna start a show at WrestleMania. He's not Damian Priest. Anybody else. He's the man. Um, for WB. I mean, I guess I know Cody's the quarterback, but you know, Cena wasn't just a man by himself. He definitely had other people, Randy Orton, Edge, uh, guys that were still main eventers, even without Cena being the headliner. Cena got hurt. They had trusted wrestlers that they could give the ball to. And Cody's the same. You know, you have Roman Reigns, you have Seth, you even have Jey Uso. And speaking of Jey Uso, good segue into Jey Uso finally having a meaningful storyline with Gunther. Gunther pretty much did what Roman did to Jimmy without Jimmy's leg being hurt this time. And I think it was probably the best segment they've had together. Um, they definitely have done wonders for Gunther. Made him look like a monster. He dominated Jimmy. The multiple power bombs, the chokeouts, the blood. Finally getting some color for it, and him zip tying Jay, and Jay just pleading with him the whole time. And I heard that a lot of people felt like it didn't translate well in the arena, but it definitely translated over television, and we definitely got what we needed from it. So I thought that was probably the best angle. Now, can they keep it up for the next 2 weeks to WrestleMania? Hopefully, they can. Um, and also, just want to touch that I heard that this is John Cena's last appearance until Mania. So I wonder how they're gonna add to the story for the next few weeks with just Cody Rhodes by himself. Maybe Cody and hopefully they put it on SmackDown. Jesus, I'm getting a little tired of just seeing it on Raw. That's just me. I feel like it's on Raw. It's all I see. It is on Raw, and it's a SmackDown feud because the World Heavyweight title is the Raw title, and that's like in the middle of the show, at the beginning of the show. Like it's never the main event of the show. That bothers me greatly, greatly. But the interview between them was pretty good. Um, I love that they brought up everything. They brought up the cons, Vince, uh, you know, AEW. You know, Cody is AEW. I mean, we might not say it if we're AEW fans because he doesn't work there, but Cody really is a big part of AEW. Can't talk about AEW's history without Cody Rhodes. Um, I don't think I think he made the best decision. And if he ever decides to go back, which I don't see it happening, but if he ever decides to go back, it could be maybe the greatest return of all time in wrestling history. Uh, just because Cody is a big star now, like main, he's the main eventer. He's the quarterback. He's the John Cena, the Hulk Hogan. the dusty roads of Florida. He's pretty much everything he needs to be. And I'm not a Cody guy. I was definitely a Ted DiBiase guy within Legacy. So, you know, I give Cody all the credit in the world. Um, but I am going to say this. I feel like um, with Cody and Cena and everything, I feel like it's not, I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't touch me the way that I want it to, maybe. Feel like the lack of the Rock's involvement. Maybe the Rock. Maybe that's it. Maybe the Rock is going to be there with Cena's absent because they'll be back on American soil come Thursday. So, well, come Friday. I mean, so maybe that's going to be the thing. Maybe we'll get the Rock back and he'll be able to push along the story since Cena's not going to be there, which I would love that. I would love to see the Rock, big Rock fan. Um, so no problem with that. Yesterday, we also had um, the return of Tyler Bates. What are we going to say about that? I'm a big Tyler Bates fan. I love Tyler Bates. He's one of the guys that I that made me love NXT UK. Um, I love P Dunne. He's like my second favorite guy on the WWE roster, like him and Roman Reigns. When it comes to, I don't even know if you can call Roman Reigns a full time guy, but I can definitely say that he's like the guy that I want to see, the guy I want to see at the top of the card. You know, and I know he's not going to be the main eventer, obviously, size and everything, but Intercontinental Champion, I think he'd be a great Intercontinental Champion. You know, in the vein with Braun Breaker, the Intercontinental Champion. But I see Braun moving up to being World Heavyweight Champion within a year or so, maybe even sooner. I'm not even sure where he's going to be within the year, but he's definitely going to be World Heavyweight Champion before 2 years pass. Like he's going to be the man of the company. I can definitely see that. Uh, they're positioning him strong. He's not taking pinfalls too often. Penta just took his first pinfall yesterday. So I honestly feel like everything is going to work out for him as a whole. Um, when it comes to when it comes to this the World Heavyweight Championship right now, it just looks lackluster. But hopefully, we'll get something that makes it come across a little bit better. Maybe we'll have. I want CM Punk to win this. Maybe when Jay wins this, we'll get something a little bit better. You know, I'm hoping because Jay's over. I know he gets backlash. Jay's over. Um, you know, I feel like WWE has kind of pushed out the hardcore fan. Definitely with pricing, and then because they've edged us out, you know, used to be you could get in for $15 to $18, even if it was nosebleed seats. That's what it was. But now, like a nosebleed seat is, you know, 50, $60, and that's what you were paying for middle roll to go to a WWE event. So it's a little bit different. I think that's also with the people wanting the experience with the likes of Logan Paul and Pat McAfee and those people. I think they feel like they get the high ticket um, casual viewer, you know, but that's fine. We, but back on course, let's talk about it. Man, the Intercontinental title match is shaping up to be a four man, like a four way, a fatal four-way match with Dominic, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Finn Balor. Um, and then on top of that, we're going to have the match with Io Sky, it seems like, and Bianca with the disqualification of Rhea, the double disqualification of Rhea and Io during Rhea's match. It just seems Rhea's Rhea's return match for the title just seems like we're having a lot of multi-person matches, and it's not something that I personally want to see. Um, we only have very few one-on-one matches and like grudge matches that people want to see. Like, who really wants to see AJ Styles versus Logan Paul? I know they had a lackluster segment last night with their promos, and then we're gonna see then we have Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. That's the only two like real matches. Then we I forgot Charlotte versus Tiffany Stratton. But every other match is like a multi-person match. The tag team match, the Raw tag team match could be it's a straight tag team match, but the SmackDown tag team match is looking like it was gonna have Pretty Deadly, the Street Profits, um, the Motor City Machine Guns, and possibly the Pretty Deadly, and well, the Street Profits are gonna be there. Pretty Deadly, DIY, the Motor City Machine Guns. It just really, to me, seems like we're gonna have a lot of multi-person matches, a lot of multi-man, multi-women matches. I don't. Maybe the women's tag team match would just be Lyra Valkyria, and Bailey versus Liv and Raquel. That'll make sense. That'll be a normal tag team match. But who knows? It just really seems to me that they're trying to get as many stars on this WrestleMania card as possible, which I commend Triple H for doing. But I think we're losing a lot of storytelling within that as well. Um, but that's just me. I'm a big fan of one-on-one matches. You can have gimmick matches, but not every gimmick match needs 6 or 7 people. Maybe at least one of the matches would be a ladder match, like the Intercontinental title match. I would love to see those guys go, like those 4 people. Braun can just be the bruiser, and then Finn Balor, and Dominic can do the high flying moves. And hopefully, Dominic comes out on top, and this will be the end of his Judgment Day mess. That's how I feel. Judgment Day mess. Um, then we have this crazy. Let's talk about some AEW though. AEW. Everybody's coming out and they saying that there's like 2 times the amount of people between um, the streaming on Max and the regular AEW simulcast on TNT. So that's crazy that they could be getting upwards to over 1 million people watching their show, and that's good for wrestling. Um, I mean, we can't discourage that that's good for wrestling. I know a lot of people don't care. They're just praying for AEW's downfall, and hey, I'm not one of those people because I love wrestling. Like, I want to see everyone succeed. I want to see Tony Khan. I want to see AEW stay around for the wrestlers and for us fans. Like, we don't have to like everything, because I'm tired of people walking around like they love everything in WWE all this time. And that's not true. Like, there's stuff in WWE we did not like, you know, um, for many years. That's the reason people are like, oh, Triple H, the Vince era is over, all this other stuff. Because there's stuff you legitimately did not like during that time period of professional wrestling. You can't say you liked all the stuff. The suffer and succotash with Roman Reigns. We talk about that. You know, Katie Vick. Like, there's stuff the gobbledygooker. I mean, we can go on and on about things that flopped in WWE that just seem goofy. And I'm not saying that everything that Triple H does is golden, but it's better. It's definitely better than what it was, but it's not all good. There's stuff that I don't like. There's stuff that people don't like. Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair. Tiffany looked very weak in that, and if it was on purpose, Charlotte went into business for herself, as they say, that was wrong of her. But it shouldn't have aired on television. It was definitely it just. I mean, they're trying to make it part of the story, just like they tried to make Jay's botch over the top rope part of the story. I feel like you shouldn't do those things. You should honestly try to make these people seem as strong in every way as they can. They're your superstars. They're your wrestlers. Um, unless Tiffany's going over, which I think she should go over. Uh, you know, Charlotte doesn't have to go over. Uh, hell, I don't see. I see Roman Reigns not going over. I see CM Punk going over at WrestleMania, which would put Roman in a losing streak because he lost the Rumble, and then he's lost. He lost the Rumble, then he would lose at Mania. You know, two of the big four or big three. I don't know what they're counting. It could be big fives now. The way people think, I don't know. I heard that Money in the Bank is one of the big ones now, so I don't know if it is one of the big ones. So be it. But to me, I still just think SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble. It's a big three for me. Um, but I definitely feel that we're lacking singles matches, grudge matches. Um, like I said, Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte, Naomi. I'm loving Naomi's character work. Um, she's I've been waiting for a heel Naomi since she came back. Uh, you know, it's definitely something good. I think. You know, and her and Jade. Jade doesn't need to say too much. Jade just needs to be a powerhouse. And Jade Cargill taking her first pinfall as well, like legitimate pinfall. No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, it was her first pinfall. So her first pinfall victory to live not too long ago, and then you know everybody's all these super characters that are getting humbled, making you feel that they're normal people, humans, that they can be defeated. It's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good thing. Naomi really hasn't had too much of what I would say, uh, like impactful run. You know, she's tag team. That was it, tag team. But now that maybe we'll get a chance. Back on the soil, we can get a new entrance maybe for Naomi. Something different, not as glowy, not as over the top as the the glow entrance where she's wearing the glow. I'm pretty sure the caution is gonna be glow maybe, but we don't need the upbeat music with it. We have a heel. Um, she's gonna so I need a more heel entrance. She's definitely giving more heel vibes, but she seems like she's cooler than probably she's ever been other than Team Bad. I'm a fan of Team Bad. I know a lot of people aren't. But I think Team Bad was good for her. It helped Sasha, Mercedes Monet. It helped. It didn't. I mean, Tamina's Tamina, but I mean, it didn't hurt Tamina, and it helped Naomi as well. I think she can take this. She can grow from this, and she can maybe be the hot top heel. I can definitely see her feuding with someone and being a top heel champion. I would love to see her as a top heel champion in the WWE. Um, she could definitely take it to some people, be what she needs to be right about now, and she could just kill it. She can kill it on the SmackDown Raw. I heard they're going to have a draft soon. So if there's a draft, I would love to see, maybe Bianca turn heel, her and Bianca just dominate. But that's just me. That's just me. Um, I don't know if they want the Bianca to turn heel due to the simple fact that I know Bianca makes money in the States. But in the States, but over in the UK, she was not getting cheered over in Europe. Europe was not for her. She didn't work for Europe, brother. I can say that much. She didn't work for Europe at all. But speaking of women, let's talk about the Mercedes Monet and Athena finally touching, hopefully soon. Uh, man, uh, Athena. Let's talk about Athena. Athena has been a staple of Ring of Honor. Uh, we don't they don't talk about Ring of Honor too much on. I mean, other than Jericho, and that's it. Just Jericho, nobody else. Like Jericho's the only thing in Ring of Honor that matters because he's the champion, and hopefully he loses that to Bandino very soon here. I'm on a losing streak, by the way, because I'm not paying attention, but that's fine. And I would be fine with that. I would be fine with him losing, but I want to see more Ring of Honor with Athena. Athena needs to have her face out there. Like she's an amazing talent in ring. I know her um, promos might not be for everyone. Like there's some people that just like, oh, her promos are trash. Um, but her promos are good for what they are. Like she's not the type of girl that comes up and says, "Hey, I'm this type of chick." Like she's not hood. She's not a hood chick, for lack of a better term. She's not a hood girl. And every time when she tries to be, it just comes off. Please don't do it. It's not you. It's not who you are. Brandy pulls off a better hood girl than her. Um, but what she's been doing on Ring of Honor, even though it's had a very small amount of people to watch it, is good stuff. It's quality stuff. Some of her best work ever, and that's the reason she's the forever champion over there. Um, my fear is that they're gonna put Mercedes over, and then Mercedes is just gonna have an extra belt, uh, and it just kind of kills what Athena has done because what Athena has done has been has had very little television exposure, and unless you're looking for Ring of Honor, you're not going to find it. Um, you can stumble upon Dynamite. You can stumble upon all of that. You can stumble upon AEW in general, whether it's Collision or Dynamite or anything like that. But you have to look for Ring of Honor. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, Ring of Honor. I'm going to watch Ring of Honor. Like, you legitimately have to say, I'm going to watch Ring of Honor. And there's so many people that don't watch Ring of Honor. And I feel Athena is going to, at the end of the day, get the short end of the stick. So hopefully they prove me wrong. And she does not get the short end of the stick, and that she comes out victorious and delivers Mercedes her first loss on AEW television. And I know some people might be like, oh, you're a hater of Mercedes. No, I'm not a hater of Mercedes. I legitimately just feel that Athena shouldn't be the person who who takes the L just because just because this is Mercedes Monet. If she's going to lose the title, she should lose the title to somebody who is the proven champion. If she's going to lose a match, I should say, shouldn't be title for title. Um, but it should be Athena's title, obviously, because she's the belt collector and she can try to collect, try to collect again the title of Athena's, which is the ROH Women's Championship. I don't think she should. Like I said, don't think she should go over. Because if she goes over, I feel like the only person that suffers is Athena, and then they can have a match later on down the line if they're able to get Mercedes and make her a babyface. I don't even think that's humanly possible to make Mercedes a baby face at this juncture in the state of the of AEW and of professional wrestling as a whole, especially AEW. She's not AEW's type of person to if they want to get over the fans, not her as a person, and definitely not Tony Khan, because Tony gave everything he could for her to get over as a baby face. But she's not the type of person that I think the fans of that company did they want to see. Um, she's proven that she can still go, but it's just the character of her. She's looked at as a WWE girl, and I know that she's been on the Indies before, but I think it was just too long of her not being on the Indies for them to accept her, and that's sad. But she's killing it on Japan. She's killing it in Mexico. She's killing it on the Indies, and she's going to AEW and killing it as well. And Athena's been proven to be a top. She's a top talent, regardless whether it's NXT, WWE, main roster. She has done more than enough to prove that she's that girl. So I think that we're going to see a super super top villain. We're going to see a super top match. Um, and let's also go to the girls. I just want to talk about the women of AEW because the women of AEW are killing it. Megan Bain and Tony Storm is always the most entertaining thing on the show. She's been main eventing lately, and just with segments in her, Megan Bain and Penelope Ford and Thunder Rosa. I'm a big fan of Thunder Rosa as well. I really want to see what they do with this. I want to see who goes over. Like, is it going to be Megan Bain? Are they going to push Megan Bain to the moon and take the title off of Tony so soon, or are they just going to make it a throwaway match? I know the AEW is not big on having um, disqualifications on pay-per-views and stuff like that. That's a very WWE thing, and WWE has moved away from that as well. And that's probably one of the reasons that Vince got criticized. And WCW, for all us old heads, that's WCW um, thing. So, but I think it just needs to be a throwaway match to save the face that Tony Storm is still that girl, like she's their main woman, best promo. Whether it is entertaining, it's straight like goof, nothing serious. And except the Mariah May, like that was the only thing serious that she did. But it was definitely I want to see Megan Bain not get squashed because the aura of Megan Bain, she doesn't speak um, at all. Like she's just out there, and she beats up people. She had the one vignette where she was speaking, but that was the only time you heard her speak. And she doesn't speak on the mic. And Penelope Ford pretty much does the speaking, even though the chair shot is the most horrible chair. And then the angle with the chair before that, it was just a horrible situation. But they seem to have been able to maneuver so people can't forget that. And they're doing an amazing job on pushing these ladies to be top tier talent. So I'm definitely happy. I want to see this go down. The pay per view is going to be good, hopefully. Um, Hopefully, Swerve takes the title away from Moxley. I know it's probably supposed to be 100%. It's supposed to be Darby Allin, and I'm not mad at that. But Darby's not there, and I think this Death Rider stuff is dying horribly. So let's get that out of the way. Let's get that done. Let's move past that, and let's move towards the end of the Death Riders, back Black Group Combat Club, all that stuff, and move towards something more where we have. I want to see Danielson come back, and Danielson and Wheeler Yuta can have their one blow off match, and him and Moxley can have their blow off match, and we can just kind of get past this thing, and maybe Moxley can quit and go back to WWE. I know he won't, but that's just me dreaming. I loved Dean Ambrose. John Moxley just doesn't do it for me. too wild, too unpredictable. It's like the Ultimate Warrior, but without the body. Um, so I don't know. Maybe we'll get that back. But who knows? Who knows what we'll get? We might get nothing after this um, thing and be back in square one with the Death Riders retaining and them maintaining power. That's my biggest fear from this pay per view. They're going to maintain power the entire time, and then we're going to just have them in there again, just doing their thing. And I don't know. I don't want to see it. I know some people do. Some people do. Some people want to see them be. They want to see them. They want to see the. I don't know who, but someone wants to see John Moxley retain the title and have the belt just be in a briefcase somewhere, um, with nothing going on. I mean, for me, it should be Swerve should be champion. We can have Swerve and MJF, and then or maybe we can have you know Swerve and Bobby Lashley in the rematch for the title. And just have like the Hurt Syndicate destroy AEW for a little while. I'd rather see them. I see them more as a dominant force than the Death Riders. For me, in ring, everything. I think the in ring of Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, pristine, the on the mic skills of MVP, out of this world. Um, they ruled pandemic for Raw. They that's the reason people tuned in for Raw, and I think now they should be they should be it. They should get the same opportunity to shine on Dynamite and Collision. Um, Maybe they will. I don't know. I know this is kind of early within their careers over there, um, in AEW, but hopefully they get the chance to show that they need to be on top. I mean, everybody is yelling that they hurt people, and they're one of the most over things in they're one of the most over people in the whole company, the most over acts. So I hope they get the chance to prove that they can do it all. And if they do, it'll be amazing for everyone involved. I think Bobby Lashley is doing interviews, and I'm not just counting the interviews that the Hurt Syndicate did with CT Fletcher. They're everywhere. Um, Swerve, he does interviews. Um, the Vlad TV that we mentioned earlier, obviously. Um, Vlad is a major guy on YouTube, um, mostly for the hip hop stuff. And but hey, you know, he was in it with them, so I don't know what's going on with Vlad and everybody else. But I think we need to get this title somewhere other than John Moxley, so it can move. We can move the story on. I feel like, first of all, toy sales have to be suffering. Merchandise. Nobody's buying the belts they don't see. They might have forgot what it looks like unless they're watching old clips or playing the dead game, Fight Forever. You know, I I don't know, but that title needs to be seen. I feel like we need to get Osprey. We need to get somebody that can be the face. I know Moxley wants to be the face, and he's somewhat Bennett, I guess. He's somewhat Bennett. Like, legitimately, he's somewhat Bennett, but I don't know. But hey, with over a million people watching it, if you count the streaming service of HBO, it seems like, hey, maybe he is doing a great job. So I don't know. Maybe they're if they're pulling over 1.5 million, they're pulling in raw numbers, you know, and they are beating NXT in that regard. So who knows how that is? But that's all I have for today. In fact, it is almost all I have for today. I do want to ask this to anyone that is going to Las Vegas to watch WrestleMania. Are you going to the after parties? Are you going to all the extra events? Are you doing those things? Is that what you're doing? Because that's a lot of money. This WrestleMania might not sell out unless they lower the ticket sales, which they might. Um, who knows? But if they don't, are you? Who's going and what are you going to attend? Are you just going to attend WrestleMania? Are you going to attend an after party? Are you going to attend NXT? Which NXT tickets are not like crazy expensive. NXT tickets are normal. So the NXT takeover. I mean, Stand and Deliver. So are you going to go see it? Is that the goal? If it is, please write comment below because I want to know. I would like to know. But I just want to end it like this. Wrestling is great. We love it. But know this. Don't tap out, brother. You can always make it to the ropes for a rope break. I'm Alex. See you soon.